On to the Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore for the 30th match of the Wills World Cup 1996. Defending champions Pakistan taking on the team they beat in the semi-finals of the last edition, New Zealand. Both sides going in with unchanged lineups. First, Pakistan with their in-form openers Amir Sohail and Saeed Anwar in a solid middle order with Ijaz Ahmed, Inzamam ul Haq, Javed Miandad and Salim Malik. The bowling perhaps not looking as strong as the batting. Waqar Younis and Aqib Javed supported by Mushtaq Ahmed, and then only the part-timers Salim Malik, Ijaz Ahmed and Amir Sohail.
Waqar and Aqib, who were very fine bowlers, though neither of them at their peak. I think the early 90s is when they were at their absolute pomp, I think, and Mushtaq as well, I think, was slightly better in the early 90s than he was at this stage. There was still an attacking bowling lineup and with enough flair, and certainly enough for the New Zealanders, I think.
For New Zealand, Craig Spearman and Nathan Astle are followed by Lee Jamon in the batting order. Pushing himself up from the lower middle order was the New Zealand captain. Fleming, Toos and Cairns make up the middle order, and as far as the bowling is concerned, Morrison, Nash, Cairns and Kennedy looks a solid bowling lineup supported by the all-rounders Astle, Thompson and Roger Toos. It was the New Zealand captain Lee Jamon who won the toss and decided to put Pakistan into bat.
First ball, Amir Sohail on strike. And straight away, a no ball, so it's not a good start for Morrison. A real mix-up here, could be a run-out, is there? Goodness me, we've seen problems before with the opening combination between Amir Sohail. The running between the wicket with Saeed Anwar is not good. And I see problems and off a no ball.
Well, everything happening in the first ball. That was a good delivery from Danny Morrison. That one swung a bit late. And there it is, Amir Sohail. That would have been disaster because obviously Saeed Anwar not responding.
So the first run off the bat, and perhaps two that looking to come back unless they'll make it safely. A little bobble down in the deep from Dion Nash, so action already. Danny Morrison looking to angle the ball back into the left-handers. That's his stock delivery. And onto the legs again. That's beautifully timed through mid-wicket from Sohail, and that's gone all the way.
That was a perfectly placed and well-timed shot by Amir. Danny Morrison pitching it up, and I think he is struggling with his rhythm. There it is, Amir Sohail placing it perfectly and timing it so well that the ball going for 4 runs.
So onto the legs again, and that's beaten Thompson at square leg. This would be a good contest. And the ball wins the race again.
Yes, having said that about New Zealand team, I think that's no excuse for Danny Morrison not to be able to get into rhythm quickly and bowl properly, because I think here again we see that he has strayed with that swing, bowling to left-hander on his legs.
It's wide, and that's gone through the covers. That's a magnificent shot for 4.
Yes, Danny Morrison again giving Amir Sohail both the width as well as the length to launch the drive, and we'll see here Danny Morrison coming close to the wicket, beautifully timed and perfectly placed.
Well, this is a good pitch. Richard Hadley, he picked the board come onto the bat nicely. Well, it's certainly coming on nicely. It's leaving even quicker at the moment from Amir Sohail. Dion Nash. And that's a good delivery, and that's it. An inside edge is a big appeal from the New Zealanders again. And once again, umpire Robinson is unmoved. Well, that was a fine delivery from Nash, coming back and climbing on the batsman. Certainly a sound, Asif.
Yes, there is, and it'll be interesting to see in the replay whether, again, Saeed Anwar getting his... There's no doubt about it that it hit something, and maybe it hit his trousers. It's
wide, he's almost dragged that on. It's gone very close to going back onto leg stump.
Well, Dion Nash certainly has been bowling exceptionally well, and again here it is very unlucky not to get Amir Sohail this time, and there it is, the ball just getting the inside edge and missing the stumps.
Yes, I think the back boot there really did save Amir Sohail. at point at the moment is Chris Harris, acting 12th man, because we understand that Danny Morrison has left the field with some problems. We understand that Morrison may have a little bit of a problem with his groin. It's too wide, and that's gone past Harris. And then we were just talking about, he's very good there in the covers, but he's not good enough to stop that.
That was a beautiful shot, and Dion Nash, for once, giving Amir Suhail the luxury of going onto the back foot and placing that ball between extra cover and point.
It's a misfield there, and that's gone for 4. Bad bit of fielding at mid-off from Parori. It's a good shot from Amir Suhail, and that's his 5th boundary of the morning.
That was a magnificent shot. That was again beautifully timed by Amir, and Saeed Anwar, who was partnering Amir Suhail. If he could also just play proper cricket, I don't think they need to take any risk.
That's in the air. He hasn't really got a hold of it, but it could just about get to the fence. Yes, it will. Didn't initially look to be all that well timed, but he's in such good touch that that's another boundary.
Minimum foot movement, just a bit short of length. He pulled it not quite as well as he would have liked to, but enough to get a boundary.
Oh, just about chopped that onto his stumps. He may well get 4 runs out of it. It was the slower ball from Cairns, and Amir Suhail a little lucky. Fortune though favours the brave, so they say.
Yeah, Cairns was a bit unlucky, but it's the way Amir Suhail plays. He has to have a bit of luck, because he plays a lot of shots. He plays all round the wicket.
Down the track and over the top. Saeed Anwar takes a leaf out of Amir Suhail's book and hits his first boundary.
Yes, for Saeed Anwar to have been playing like he was for such a long time is quite unusual. That's a great shot.
Oh, that's beautifully timed too. Look at the timing on that. Second consecutive boundary.
That really was a brilliantly timed shot. He just leant into it. As you will see, there's no effort gone into it. It's just a sort of forward push. Hallmark of a very fine timer of the ball. A lot of talent there.
Over the top. And heading out to the boundary, and that is 50 for Amir Suhail.
Very good performance by Amir.
It's in the air. Oh, that's a brilliant catch. Shane Thompson, that's got to be one of the catches of the tournament. Sensational catch. The shot by Amir Suhail, just look at Shane Thompson, and what a magnificent catch. And New Zealand needed to produce something, and Robert Kennedy is the bowler. Ijaz Ahmed is the new batsman for Pakistan, replacing Amir Suhail.
Driven beautifully, and it could be 4 runs, and it is. Square of the wicket, and it's 86 for 1. What a beautiful shot by Saeed Anwar.
Saeed Anwar has been somewhat subdued this morning, and I was just questioning his health before, but on that particular occasion, even though he's got Yunus's shirt on there at the moment, he certainly did time that one nicely. Probably tried to hit it a little more straighter through the covers, but managed to slice it just backward a point, and it really did dissect the 3rd man as well.
And that's beautifully played. Another 4 wide of mid-on. What a beautiful shot that. Perfect timing, perfect placement, 4 all the way.
Yes, 4s in consecutive deliveries now, so that suggests that the New Zealand bowling has just been too inconsistent today. They've been hit both sides of the wicket, So one going backward a point for 4, then the other one going through wide mid-on for 4, suggests that the bowler's line is somewhat astray.
And this one, he's placed it well. It's going to be 4 runs to the third man boundary. Previous one, he tried to cut it late and fine. This one, he cut it a little square, and it's gone for 4.
Plays the cut shot very well, does Saeed Anwar. In fact, there's been a tremendous amount of consistency in his game in this tournament to date. Saeed Anwar on strike now. He's on 49. And on the pads again. And they pick up 2. And he completes yet another 50 in the World Cup.
And I must say, a very confident 50 that was.
Frightening when you look at the batting to come for Pakistan. And that bowling lineup for New Zealand, the scoreboard.
And Ian, I can't help thinking that Javed Miandad and Salim Malik would be dying to get into bat on this wicket, because this is the only time they'll have a match before the World Cup semi-final.
Well, they might get in now because there's a chance of a catch down at long off. Cairns is underneath it. It's cleared him, and it's 6 to Saeed Anwar.
Yes, Saeed didn't really time that ball, but still managed to go for a 6. You will see in the replay that he didn't really get hold of it. You know, it was a sort of more toppish edge. It didn't really meddle the bat, but still it managed to go for a 6.
Well, he's called for the third umpire here. This could be very unlucky for Saeed Anwar, because umpire KT Francis, there was a deflection, a definite deflection from Shane Thompson. It's gone back onto the stumps, and KT Francis has called for the third umpire. Here we go. This may tell it, Imran. Side on angle. What's the story here?
That looks out.
So close to call. It's so vital as well in the context of the match. It really is vital. And we've got the red light, have we? Yes. Umpire Sharma from India has said that Saeed Anwar is run out. So joy at last for New Zealand. Desperately unlucky Saeed Anwar. A great knock again today. 62 off 67. 139 for 2. Another form player strides to the wicket for Pakistan, Inzamam ul Haq.
There he goes, straight down the ground and over the top for 6. Big blow by Inzamam.
Yes, and as long as that man is there, he's going to entertain this crowd. And what a magnificent shot that was. His timing and the amount of time he's got to play his shots, and he certainly played that magnificently.
And he's greeted, and he's got a wicket immediately as Ijaz slashes the ball and is held. So to greet Cairns, Ijaz plays rather a loose shot and gratefully accepted by Craig Spearman for New Zealand, and that's the third wicket. Ijaz goes for 26. It's 155 for 3. Great celebrations in the ground here at Lahore. Javed Miandad is the new batsman. An incredible reception when he came out to bat. Big heave here by Inzamam, and he's got plenty on that. That's 4 runs.
And that's what is expected of Inzamam. This delivery, not really all that short, but coming into the batsman and with that vacant long on position, bit of fingers spinning there by Chris Cairns. Inzamam quick to pick it up,
And played down to third man, a late cut, a very, very fine shot indeed. He just waited for that ball and guided it along down to third man. Miandad facing. And that could be a run out. Oh yes, he's
Brilliant.
stranded. He's gone. 173 for 4.
as we see Robert Kennedy bowling there to Java. Just push the ball out there into the covers, and a wonderful dive here from Chris Harris, and it's the recovery. The fact that he gets up quickly and returns it back to Jamon. Leondad left stranded, so he's been run out expertly there by Chris Harris. So Pakistan lose their 4th wicket now at 173 on the board.
And that's a big hit. It's going to be 4 runs. Magnificent shot that. And that brings the crowd to life.
Just gave himself a little bit of room, a bit wide too, and he got that ball in the air, and he really did smash that one over covers, and that's gone all the way to the boundary for 4. Super shot, and Nathan Astley can't afford to give the batsman that amount of room.
That's another fine shot past the bowler on the onside. It's going to be 4 runs. The long on couldn't cut it off, and that was the power of that shot.
So Inzamam is looking to increase the momentum now. Wonderful batting lineup.
This could be 2 again as he plays it to the same fielder. And Inzamam's down the wicket. That could be a run out, and it almost certainly will be. Inzamam was coming back for the second, stranded, and once again Inzamam is run out. 201 for 5.
And that's a lucky break again for the New Zealanders. In fact, some ways they've had a little bit of good fortune out there in the field. Salim Malik gets that one round the corner. He goes for 1. And I don't think Salim was looking for a second, but Inzamam certainly was. As Salim puts his hand up, Inzamam wasn't looking at all. And that's a total botch up. The ball coming back to Roger Toos. He throws it back to Jamon. Inzamam, he's left stranded, and that's a big wicket and a very important wicket there for New Zealand. 5th wicket down, 201 on the board.
Wasim Akram, the new man in, and he's come in at the fall of Inzamam's wicket.
Oh, that's beautifully played. Salim Malik showing all his experience, slashes it through square for 4.
There's not much else Roger Toos could do here. When someone starts dancing around the crease, you've got to bowl nice and full and nice and straight. Well, he's done that. He's almost got the length. Inch perfect, Roger Toos, but and the class of the player there came into play. Salim Malik, a danger man.
Well, that's an unusual delivery. Oh, and it's done Deepak Patel.
Well, he's got a lot of experience, Deepak Patel. This is almost a baseball shot from Salim Malik, and because he slices it, it's got backspin on it. And if you've got experience, you know that when it pitches, it's probably going to turn back in towards you. Uh-oh.
Chops it down past the leg stump, and it's an effective shot. It's going down to the fence for 4. 8 off the over, 240 for 5. Change of pace again by Astle, not going to make too much difference. It's still 4. Beautifully played.
The other thing that slows the over rate down too, Grant, is the number of boundaries that are hit. Because you've got to go and fetch it, and this is another good boundary for the Pakistan cause. It's a sweep shot really, down on one knee and past the man, the umpire at square leg. Beautifully timed by Wasim Akram. This is a little gem he's playing here.
Big edge and away, 4 runs.
Well, if Wasim Akram's in a little bit of pain, I'm sure that Lee Jamon, the New Zealand captain, will be as well, and the bowler Chris Cairns, because this does hurt. Good change of pace here, quick off spinner, hanging back in towards off stump. Frees the arm Salim Malik and just gets enough on it to race away past the keeper for 4.
This time he heaves it on the onside. That's well played, beautifully played, and that's 50 for Salim Malik.
Well, there's been some great little cameo knocks in this tournament so far. This is right up the top of the list. This innings from Salim Malik. It's come at exactly the right time. And I think he's hit to something like 11 boundaries in this 50.
Gets it away very fine. That'll go down to the boundary. And there's a bit of bat on it too.
Well, he couldn't have placed this better. Wasim Akram shuffles across the stumps, looking like it's going to miss off stump, and then just a little nick on it, maybe a bit of pad as well.
Hits it away on the leg side and straight out to the boundary. What a good way to finish for Wasim Akram. But the question is, will we see him back when Pakistan bowl? But they finish with a formidable 281 for 5 and a partnership between Salim Malik and Wasim Akram of 80.
I think Wasim has had a kind of mixed legacy as Pakistan captain. There were times where players have not been completely happy with him and have revolted, and there have been times where they've responded wonderfully well against him, under him, I'm sorry. We saw in Australia, we saw young players like Saqlain Mushtaq and Shahid Afridi and all a young generation kind of emerge under Wasim.
Lee Jamon would perhaps regret the decision to put Pakistan into bat as they piled up 281 for 5 in their 50 overs. Once again, a solid start from the openers of 70 runs between Sohail and Anwar. Sohail finishing with 50, Saeed Anwar with 62. Lower down the order, it was Salim Malik who picked up 55 of 47 balls and Wasim Akram, the captain, with 28 of 26 to steer them to 281. For New Zealand, there were just 2 successful bowlers, Chris Cairns and Robert Kennedy, and it was 3 run-outs that saw Pakistan lose their 5 wickets.
Boy, middled that beautifully. Really just stroked that away down through mid-off, and that's going to be 4 runs. Beautifully timed shot by Craig Spearman.
A very positive start by Craig Spearman. That's the way he likes to play. And when you look at some of his innings to date, most of his innings last ran about 26 deliveries, and he'd pick up round about 26 runs in those 26 deliveries. So he's a run-a-ball man. But that certainly is a wonderful start for him.
Whips it away. This will be another boundary. He's flicked it away off his pads, and that's 4 more. So a very good first over from New Zealand's point of view. 10. Hammers that into the offside field and through, and no one protecting the boundary out there. That's 4 runs to Nathan Astle.
Well, that's a better shot and a better start there for Nathan Astle, and quite clearly he and Craig Spearman are wonderful players to watch. And I suppose if we look at some of the attacking batsmen in world cricket today, then these two could rate just as highly as some of these other players.
There's an edge. That's the end of Nathan Astle. Waqar Younis gets the first wicket and Astle is away.
Of course, Waqar Younis does have that extreme pace. A lot of other bowlers don't necessarily have, and he does get it to run away as well, particularly with the new ball. And I think he's done Nathan Astle for pace. And Waqar, right arm over the wicket. It's a good one. Just started to leave him a little bit, and Nathan Astle had to hurry the shot. The outside edge is found. Rashid Latif does very well to dive to his right there. He's got an injured finger as well, and he does take that catch. So New Zealand lose their first wicket with 23 on the board.
Big change in the New Zealand batting lineup. Lee Jamon, the captain, is coming out to bat at number 3 instead of Stephen Fleming. So this is a real change in approach by the New Zealand team. Obviously in consultation with coach Glenn Turner. They've had a big think about this. And Lee Jamon, who normally bats down about number 8, sometimes even 9, comes into bat at 3. So let's see whether it works out. And he's got an edge too. He chased one, and Latif takes his second catch.
Yes, well, it's always the danger when you're looking to play shots as freely as the 2 New Zealand opening batsmen do. And he did chase a wide one. It might have left him a little bit. And looking to smash that one through the offside, and the outside edge is found. And again, Rashid Latif does well to his right. Had to go quite a long way, but again, his glove work is good enough. And so he takes his second catch. New Zealand lose their second wicket at a very difficult stage. And at 23 for 2, they've got a lot of work to do.
New man in for New Zealand, Stephen Fleming, at 23 for 2 in the 6th.
Aqib Javed, the bowler. And Fleming has played him firmly away to the square leg boundary for 4.
Well, he's looking for that one that's angling in towards the pad area, Stephen Fleming. This is just going down leg side. It wasn't that bad a delivery, maybe just a little bit short. But as you said, if he's a tall man, he's able to hit through the ball. And the secret, of course, in the first 15 overs, if he can lift it over the inner circle of fielders, you really are in business.
Jamon to face Aqib, the bowler. And that's hit down to third man, and it drops just ahead of Javed Miandad, who dived for it. First bounce, It hit his body and then ricocheted off.
I think we just mentioned the word commitment, didn't we? Well, here's the old campaigner, Javed Miandad. You won't get a better commitment than this. These are nasty ones. The ones you don't quite know whether to go for. The ones that are going to bounce up and get you in the teeth if you don't get them quite right.
Well, that's a lovely shot again by Stephen Fleming. Starting to show a bit of his quality now. And another one goes to the fence.
Also, it's significant now that the ball is not swinging much either. That was a very good shot. He had a bit of room there, as you see. Aqib obviously hoping that the ball would swing into him, which it did not, and therefore the batsman had plenty of room to play that shot. What's happening is that the ball has gradually stopped swinging. When after the second or third over onwards, there was a noticeable amount of swing from both Aqib and Waqar, and you see that it's disappeared almost.
Driving through the covers, a third boundary in the over. Terrific over this for New Zealand.
It just shows, again, Aqib pitching it up, hoping that it would swing, which it did not, and became a very nice half volley. It just shows on this wicket, if two batsmen get in, it is a perfect batting track. The outfield is extremely fast.
That's very wide, and that's got through, but there is a man sweeping out there now. He might just get around and grab it, and he does. And Fleming takes 2 for the shot, and 14 off the over makes it 60 for 2. Lifted away by Fleming. That's a well-timed shot as well. That'll be another 4 for Stephen Fleming. So this is an expensive first over for Salim Malik.
See, Salim is not a regular bowler, and chances are every now and then he will bowl well, and at times batsmen will not be able to line him up. But not being a regular bowler, he's quite liable to go for runs. And that's why I feel that when Pakistan have the options, they have a good bowling attack, they should utilize it.
So Jamon, strike rate really not what was desired when he promoted himself up the order. 41, very slow. Use of the feet there, missed and stumped. So that's a bonus wicket for Pakistan. Salim Malik, he's done the job. He's gone past Stephen Fleming, trying to use his feet, never getting to it. And Rashid Latif, he did the rest.
Well, the captain is certainly quite pleased with that, getting that bonus wicket, as you said, Ian. And I think Stephen Fleming definitely not happy with that. Here, Salim Malik deceiving Stephen Fleming, who was playing him for the spin, and Rashid Latif getting his 3rd wicket.
So Fleming gone for 42, 83 for 3. Rod Jatoos, another left-hander, replaces Stephen Fleming, who was undone by Salim Malik. Bonus wicket for the Pakistanis. New Zealand really did need Fleming to kick on, but he's gone. So it's up to Roger Toos. 17th match today, averaging mid-30s. That's a pretty good performance. 4 50s. They may well need 100 from him if New Zealand are to get up and give 282 a good shake. So Roger Toos is here because of this dismissal.
And Salim Malik, there he is, deceiving the batsman, playing for the spin, which was not there, and Rashid Latif doing the rest.
So we mentioned that Roger Toos may just have to come up with a century. No one's done that for New Zealand against Pakistan. The best one-day score is in fact 91 by Martin Crowe. That was in the semi-final of the last World Cup. So straight away the sweet shot comes out of the bag from Roger Toos. And he picks up a single to end a successful over for Pakistan after 18. New Zealand are 84 for 3. And that's a good shot from Jamon, just pulling away to leg side and beating the man at cover, and that's 4.
Yes, that was a well-placed shot, and beating the fielder in the short position, short cover, that's Salim Malik, and hitting his first boundary, placing it perfectly and timing it beautifully, picking up 4 runs.
And that's up in the air. He could be out, gone. Yes, he's gone.
Well, it's very difficult trying to hit Mushtaq over the top as he picks the ball up there. And Lee Jamon really had no alternative but to really try and force the momentum there for New Zealand, because they're just getting further and further behind the run rate. And it was nicely tossed up there by Mushtaq. And Lee Jamon just not getting control of that one. Straight up in the air, and it went backward a point. And Atta Rahman, the reserve fielder, substitute fielder, just turned a little bit on him. And Atta Rahman comes around there and takes a straightforward catch. And so New Zealand lose their 4th wicket now, and as we see it again, just a little bit wide of Lee Jamon, trying to hit it over perhaps wide mid-on, and just not quite getting onto it there. Easy catch. And so Drinks will come onto the field now as Lee Jamon has been out, caught by the substitute Rahman for 41. Mushtaq gets the wicket. New Zealand now 132 for 4.
Twos at the moment to face. And that's up in the air, and could he be gone? Yes, he is. Identical shot. And this time it's Malik who takes the catch. So it's 138 for 5.
Well, the sweet shot has actually undone Roger Twos for the 2nd time in this competition. That's how he got out against UAE. And other players have employed that shot in this tournament. And it's the leg spinner Mushtaq that strikes again. That might have been the wrong in again, and miscued there by Roger Twos, straight up in the air. And Malik takes a very simple catch indeed. It's behind square on the leg side in a run-saving position. So Twos goes for 24, and New Zealand lost their 5th wicket now with 138 on the board.
So Perore coming out, and it's 138 for 5. Amir Sohail, the bowler, and he's swept fine, and they take 2.
Cairns has had a go at this, and that's a huge hit. Way over the top, and that has enormous carry.
Gaines a very big hitter off the ball. Hit it very sweetly.
Rory's got that away very fine, and it might work out okay for him. It has. He hit it so fine that it was inside the man fielding at short third man.
You see, you can see that the wicket is extremely easy. The batsmen have no problems either with the spinners. New Zealand really, if they hope to have any chance, they've got to get after these bowlers.
Cairns thinks along the same lines, and he lofts it away, and he might have just cleared the ropes. Yes, he has.
Yes, that really was an effortless 6. Controlled stroke, he picked his spot, a very balanced shot. Just watch here, beautiful shot.
Lovely striker of the ball, Chris Cairns. Oh, now what's that? It's a caught behind. Yes, it is. So Cairns goes, a big blow for New Zealand's chances, and Amir Sohail takes the wicket.
Yes, that ball turned a bit. Very good catch here. Watch the ball turn a bit, and very, very good catch. Second attempt.
Cairns goes for 32, 182 for 6. Last of the recognised batsmen for New Zealand, Shane Thompson, batting at number 8. And there are the stats for Shane Thompson. Quite an experienced player these days. He managed to kick on and get 100. 83 is best. A couple of seasons back. Oh, big swing by Shane Thompson. Almost launched himself. Anyway, the ball's got past the keeper and has gone away down to the boundary for 4 byes.
Yes, I'm afraid that wasn't very well kept by Rashid.
Again, Perori hitting that down to backward square leg, another bad bounce, and that's 4 more. So the pressure goes on the Pakistan field, and at the moment they're not responding.
Well, we have been talking about having a close finish. Pakistani field is contributing to it. Saqlain Mushtaq was substituting. There it is, the ball being hit very hard. He had the ball under control, but suddenly found it slipping out of his hand. And 4 more runs to New Zealand.
Again, Perori through the onside in the air, and he's taken a catch in the deep. Mushtaq Ahmed is the fielder, and he's limping after he takes the catch. Maybe just bruised a knee or something, but that's a bonus wicket. Perori looking to swing Salim Malik away on the onside, looking to hit him over the rope, and not quite timing it to perfection.
Yes, he had to go. I mean, that's the only chance New Zealand batsman had. That ball had to go. Unfortunately for Perori, he got it high on the bat. Had he middled it, I'm sure that would have cleared the field there. Mushtaq taking a very good, well-judged catch.
So a fine innings from Perori comes to an end. Maybe not enough for New Zealand. They're 221 for 7. So Dion Nash comes to the crease. The fall of Adam Perori's wicket. Waqar Younis edges it. There's a big nick, and he's gone, yes. Giving himself room, Shane Thompson. A faint touch, a faint outside edge, and Rashid Latif has number 5.
Yes, you can see the jubilation on his face.
Well, a good piece of bowling again. He followed Shane Thompson. Look at the exaggerated movement towards the leg side. He exposed all the stumps. That wasn't the problem. The faint outside edge was. Through to Rashid Latif. He throws it high in the sky with delight. That's dismissal number 5 for him. Thompson's gone for 13. New Zealand 228 for 8. So Robert Kennedy, young man from Otago, back in New Zealand, on the side for his bowling. So he's done a great job, Amir Sahal. He's asked to captain the side in the field at the last minute. The injury to Wazam Akram at the end of the batting performance from Pakistan. He's marshalled his troops well. He's bowled him. He's gone past Robert Kennedy, looking to use his feet. He gave himself just too much room. And Aqib Javed, nice and straight, back goes off stump.
And I think that's probably the end of New Zealand innings.
Yes, it is. The players shake hand. Danny Morrison will not come out. And so New Zealand will finish at 235 for 9. And Pakistan have completed a pretty comprehensive victory. A victory that was sealed with the wicket of Robert Kennedy. Asked to do too much at the end. Aqib Javed on target, and back goes off stump. Swing and a miss from the young man from Dunedin, and he's gone. So New Zealand finish at 235 for 9 in the 48th over. A win by 46 runs for Pakistan. A win that sees them now finish second in Group B, and a win that sees them keeping an appointment with India in Bangalore in one of the quarterfinals.
New Zealand fell 46 runs short in their run chase, finishing with 235 all out in 47.3 overs. They lost wickets at regular intervals. The top scorer for New Zealand was Stephen Fleming with 42. Lee Jamon, the captain, who had promoted himself up the batting order, got 41. Waqar Younis, Aqib Javed, Mushtaq Ahmed and Salim Malik all picking up 2 wickets apiece. So Pakistan then finishing with 281 for 5 in their 50 overs, a top score of 62 for Saeed Anwar, 50 for Amir Sohail and 55 of 47 balls for Salim Malik. Just a wicket apiece for Chris Cairns and Robert Kennedy in the bowling department for the Kiwis. New Zealand in reply 235 all out, a top score of 42 from Stephen Fleming, 41 from wicketkeeper and captain Lee Jamon, and Adam Perori, who's also kept wickets for New Zealand, picking up 36. The best bowling figures: 2 for 32 for Mushtaq Ahmed, 2 for 32 also for Waqar Younis in his 9 overs. Salim Malik chipping in with a couple of wickets, finishing with 2 for 41. Pakistan then emerging victors by 40.